Okay. I've put it at a lower bit rate and a lower resolution as well, 360p. And so far, no problems. No drop frames yet. We're doing this, by the way. Okay, just try not to get too distracted. Okay. I'm hearing banging from your side. That is going to be really, really distracting. Okay, it looks like my my Twitch is streaming. My YouTube is... Why? Okay. Why am I not live on YouTube? Ah, I am live. Okay, let's start this thing off. Let's start God off, not work. Despite my dropping frames. Fuck it, I'm just gonna leave it like that. So, gaming on demand. Yes, sadly Lee can't make it. Unexplained absence. Yes. Never mind. We shall just continue without him. First up on the agenda, we have Microsoft announces Xbox Game Pass service. So basically what that is you pay a monthly subscription fee and you get access to what they say over 100 games on your Xbox One and backwards compatible 360 games as well. And apparently it's supported by a variety of publishers. So you got your Microsoft Studios, but you've got 2K Games, Codemasters, Capcom, Sega. But something that I sort of find a little interesting is that it's a little more expensive than say your EA Access or things like that. I've got something here, if I can find it. Oh, never mind. There was something about it somewhere that I read, but apparently it's a little more expensive than the EA Access and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it's interesting to just see how worthwhile it is, because what it is, apparently they're rotating those games through, so every so often they'll change the games around, some of the games around, and you only have access to those games while they're there. Once they take them off this subscription service, you have to buy them in order to get them. But there is, I believe, a 20% discount on full games through the subscription service that are available through the subscription service, and 10% off the DLC or the add-ons. So I think it might be sort of worthwhile if you want to try out new games and only pay a small fee. that's probably not a bad idea. But at the same time, I don't really want to pay $10 a month US, God knows what it'll be Australian, for uh, something for games that I'm not going to be able to keep. Like one day I might be playing a game and I'm really starting to enjoy it, and then the next they don't have it on the service anymore, and yeah. Alex, your thoughts? Yes. I sort of wonder though, is Nintendo gonna do something similar? Yeah. Okay. Uh, Also, by the way, I'm gonna link all the articles that I'm showing here, in the description down below on my YouTube channel, and I'll be uploading a full 1080p version of this stream tomorrow. Next up, we've got exclusive games for the Nintendo Switch that have been confirmed. Now, some of them are exciting, some of them not so much. 1-2 Switch. uh, yeah, I mean, I've seen small clips of each of the games that are on 1-2 Switch, and to be honest, they're a little weird. I mean, there's one where you hold the Joy-Con close to your mouth and you have to like move your mouth as if you're eating something, and like the faster you do it, because like the aim of the game is to eat something as fast as you can and eat as many of these things as possible, and it's like it's yeah, effectively, and and just think of how awkward it is to hold your Joy-Con like so close to the mouth. Like I've heard of people trying to eat the Switch cartridges, but yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so Switch exclusive game. So you've got the 1-2 Switch, standard, standard sort of thing. It's just a multiplayer, family-friendly game. The picture here is where you play a milking game. Try and milk as much as you can. It's a little interesting. You're vigorously shaking your Joy-Con up and down to milk as fast as you can. Not to be confused with another thing that's often done. um, Arms is the next one on this list. Apparently it's an arena fighting game, two players duke it out, but it doesn't look like there's much information out from what I can tell. Fast RMX is a Switch exclusive racing game, with like jets or something. Sequel to Fast Racing Neo on the Wii U. I don't know how that went out, but can't imagine it was hugely popular considering I didn't hear of it. Yeah. A working title for the Fire Emblem for Nintendo Switch. Doesn't look like they've got a proper name or any kind of release date, but they say it's gonna be for 2017. And you've also got Fire Emblem Warriors, which is crossover between Fire Emblem and I'm not even going to say that name. Warriors. I'll take your word for it. Hmm? Fire Emblem Warriors. Yeah. Yep, good news service we are. Uh-huh. So release date fall 2017. So That's our spring, so we're looking September through November. Good old Breath of the Wild. I mean, that's already out. It was released alongside the Switch as a launch title. Uh, very, very popular and very, very well made from what I've heard. Almost all the review sites have given it perfect, if not very close to perfect, scores for it. So yeah. Nah, oh god, I just wish I had the money to buy a Switch because I probably would play Breath of the Wild in the middle of my uni lectures. Ah, who needs uni? Who needs higher education? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Effectively, it's just a port of Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U. It's just got all the additional DLC, I believe, and a couple of extra characters. April 28th for that. Project Octopath Traveler. Working title for an upcoming Square Enix developed RPG made exclusively for the Switch. April 28 as well, apparently. Don't know what that's going to be like. Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. Whenever I hear Definitive Edition, I always think of reboots. Updated version of the 2013 original. Exclusive new content and new features, making use of Switch functionality. Could be alright. Don't know about it. I'm not even gonna. Shin Megami Tensei. I don't even really know what it is. New entry in a long-running series. Shovel Knight. Yeah, that was launched with the Switch. First released as a timed exclusive. Also, you know how we were supposed to take half an hour? Yeah, we're already 20 minutes in. Well, it's probably closer to 10 because of how long it. Yeah, and also the streaming issues. I'm still having streaming issues, but who cares? Australian internet, everyone. Best upload I've ever had on my home Wi-Fi. 1.2 megabits. Currently, I'm probably not doing much more than about 0.8 or 0.7, judging by how poor my stream is right now. We've got a co-op game in Snipper Clips. Cut it out together. Two players utilize a snipping mechanic to solve shape and physics-based puzzles. Just a sort of family-friendly co-op thing, I guess, just like 1-2 Switch. Yeah, nah. Splatoon 2, that's apparently got a bit of hype around it. I haven't played the first Splatoon, but apparently Splatoon 2 is going to be pretty solid. Hmm. Well, maybe I might get Splatoon 2 because I never got a Wii U, so I never played the original Splatoon. But you have a Wii U. Yeah. Um, and how many others? Oh shit, there's still another four. Super Bomberman R. First main entry in a long-running Konami franchise in over a decade. Yeah, looks pretty good for that. Not actually good, just good for retro gamers. Sorry. Super Mario Odyssey. So, looks like it might be pretty solid. That's just my review on all of them. Just solid. Yes. Q4 2017. I'm guessing that means in the last 3 months. I really don't know, but I'm guessing that's what it means. Ultra Street Fighter 2. Like, really? Just really? And it's like with evil versions of the characters. My tutor for game studies played it, and she was a little. She didn't talk that highly of it, but she didn't sound like it was terrible. So, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yes. Hmm. Well, apparently it stars a new hero who's in search for something known as Elysium. And who? Oh, right, yeah. Uh, yeah. Well, we finally got through all the games. Oh god. Next, another Switch article. We've got 4 of them today. Uh, you can't transfer or copy save data on the Switch. It is all saved on the 32 gigs internal storage, and even though there is a micro SD expansion, that is purely for downloading games off of the eShop. If you run out of the 32 gigs very quickly, you can put it on the SD card. So my advice, if you're gonna be downloading games off the eShop, just put it straight in the SD card, because you might want as much space as you can on the internal storage for your save data if you're going to be playing a lot of games. Though I don't know how much save data is going to take. Typically, I haven't seen save data take that much. Like, it might take a few meg, maybe 50 meg. I think I've seen on a couple. I don't know how it might work, but I don't think save data takes that much data. So you should be at save much space, take much space, sort of thing. So I think it'll be fine. The 32 gigs will be quite fine for just save data. It's when you start installing other games that you'll have the problems. So my recommendation, just put it straight on an SD card. And get a big one at that too. 64, 128, maybe even 256. Yes, expensive, but might be worth. But yeah, just you can't transfer save data. Which is unusual actually on Nintendo's part with the cartridge games, at least on the DS side of things, or with the portable consoles. The save data's always been saved on the cartridges, but I don't know how to classify the Switch, because it is a portable console, but it isn't. Anyway, I don't think it'll worry us for a little while yet. Anything to say, Alex? Yeah. Alright. Another PSA for Switch. Don't put stickers or skins on it if you're going to think about taking them off. Unless you want your Joy-Con to look like this once it downloads. Internet. Like that. It's, I mean, some people might see it as a rugged, manly look, but yeah, I think these are what Dbrand sent out in pictures, because Dbrand was, of course, testing out skins on the Switch, and found out that no matter what adhesive they used, it still damaged the plastic. Somehow it's been cured or made in some way that doesn't work well with any adhesives. So might be something to avoid, or if you want to have that sort of look. I mean, to be honest, I think that the way the Switch logo looks there, that's almost like Breath of the Wild-esque. So mightn't be too bad. But yeah, if you want to keep a pristine look, just avoid stickers and skins. I mean, Dbrand's not selling any skins at all. They've cancelled all their orders and stuff because they don't want to be responsible, obviously. Yeah. Next is something that is sort of big, sort of not. Not all Switch games will support TV mode. Like, you're going to be forced to play in handheld or possibly tabletop mode for certain Switch games. Yeah. I mean, it's fair enough if games rely on the touchscreen. Like, you can't expect it to work on TV mode anyway. And the game that's featured here is actually already a tablet game, or iOS and Android game. So if you want to play that game, don't buy the Switch. Just buy it on your phone or iPad or whatever you have. But yeah, there is an interesting question posed in this article. Does this mean we're in for a flood of tablet ports? And to be honest, I sort of don't really want to have tablet ports. I mean, in my experience, ports have never really been that good anyway. Eh. But all the ports that I've played have generally been pretty ordinary. Pretty meh. I mean, I suppose going from one touchscreen to another can't be that bad for just general mobile gaming, but like, I've played a port from PC to console, Assetto Corsa, and to be honest, I just found the console version just too clunky, and there wasn't anything there that you were playing for. Something that I was shown in philosophy, it is effectively philosophy. My game studies course is that the computer game medium is actually just boring, and the whole idea of what the developers do is to make us believe otherwise for the period that we're playing that game. And I just felt that Assetto Corsa on the Xbox One just did not do that at all. It just, you were bored as soon as you opened the game. But yeah. Anyway, that's a bit off track. Portable only games could be potentially, as you said, Alex, a deal breaker, but we'll just have to see how it works. Because if it is just going to be a whole bunch of tablet ports that rely on the thing being in portable mode, then there's no. Why would you be buying a Switch if you were wanting to just play those tablet ports? You're buying a Switch to play other games, hopefully Zelda, but yeah. Anyway. Maybe, maybe not. It's just a matter of time. I mean, I'm just waiting for the hype for the Switch to die down and for people to actually start finding things that are seriously wrong with the Switch. I hope there's not, if I'm going to be buying a Switch within the next month, fingers crossed. But I don't know. Next up, Zelda. Next couple of articles are all about Zelda. DLC is coming to Breath of the Wild. God, God knows why, but we're gonna have DLC in Zelda. Now, to be honest, I feel like that sort of ruins the whole Zelda thing. Like, I've Zelda for me has always been a full game. Same with Nintendo, yeah. Well, Nintendo in general, but Zelda and Pokemon have always been a full game. But DLC, Nintendo actually had DLC in the last Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, I think, or something like that. I don't know how well that played out, but I wasn't a fan of it. For me, I feel like not having DLC for for Zelda and Pokemon and those other major Mario as well. I feel like you shouldn't have DLC. They should be the full games. That's just how I feel like it should be, but Nintendo probably feels they're missing out on a lot of revenue, which they probably are. But yes, DLC for the Zelda, and there's going to be expansions and 2 full expansions coming out later this year that'll have new challenges, difficulty settings, more dungeons, and that sort of thing. Yeah, yeah. No, it's something different now. Like Breath of the Wild has just completely changed the whole tune of Zelda. But yeah, it's could be interesting. Initially, yeah, but there've been rumors of, or not rumors, there've been people having lots of bugs. I was actually gonna show that. Obviously, I didn't get it up, but I have the article on my iPad here. Some of the issues that people have found are include, but not limited to, as a matter of fact, dead pixels. As I said, vinyl skins damaging the system, blue screens of death, desync issues with the left Joy-Con, dock scratching the screen, get a screen protector, games freezing and refusing to load, Switch injuring people trying to take the Joy-Con grip out. Sounds like it's held on pretty tight. The dock snapping in half, which, yeah, and more, much more, so this article says. I'll link this article down below as well. But at the same time, a lot of other people are like, really? These are problems? So I think it might just be some unlucky people that have had these problems. Next up, next Zelda, Switch and Wii U versions comparison. Now this is a video. I've got the GIF on the screen right now, and you can see the frame rates in the top corners for the Wii U and the Switch, and you can see both of them have drops. The Switch actually has a pretty significant drop. It drops to, I mean, the Switch is set to hard, or both the Switch and the Wii U are set to hard lock at 20 FPS when playing Breath of the Wild, whenever there's a drop below 30. But the Switch seems to hang on a lot lower FPS for longer compared to the Wii U. And this is something that I've read elsewhere that I actually know in the same place that they both experience frame rate drops, like when you're playing the Switch version on the TV mode, that is, but in different places. The Switch actually struggles in some places that the Wii U thrives in, and vice versa. But when you play the Switch in handheld mode, you're playing 720p instead of 900p, and you're getting much better frame rates there. You're sticking to 30, 99% of the time in handheld mode. Really, there isn't actually much of a difference between the Switch and Wii U versions in terms of visual quality. Like, I think the Switch renders just a smidge further than the Wii U does, but really, I don't think that's too bad. Like, I say if you are neck and neck on this, half on the Switch, like whether to get it or not because of Zelda, I reckon you might just be better off getting the Wii U version. Unless you want to have that new console for future games, go ahead. But if you don't want to get the Switch just yet, then just get Zelda on the Wii U. I mean, you play at 720p instead of 900p that you play on the Switch if you have it docked, but I don't know, it depends on how you are with resolutions. To be honest, I wouldn't see too much of a difference between 900 and 720p. Alex, which would you prefer? Would you prefer the 900p on the Switch or 720p on the Wii U? Yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm just seeing a comparison picture here. There's something in the distance on the Wii U version that's not present in the Switch version. Just like a little island floating in the sky or something. It's there in the Wii U version, but not on the Switch. Could be interesting. I don't know if it's something that moves around or what, but once I get Zelda on the Switch, I'll investigate this a bit more. But yeah, there's a video on this page for you guys who want to watch it. Like if you open up the link, as I said, I'll post it down below when I upload the full resolution video tomorrow. But yeah, last Zelda and last Switch thing for tonight. There are 9 classic themes, or what people call classic themes, that isn't featuring in Breath of the Wild. Chess music. Everyone loves the chess music, apparently. Well, there you go. That's well, that's not there. But you can always just play it yourself, or you can always get up the YouTube video and just play it every time you open up a chest. Um, you won't be able to get money out of grass, rupees out of grass. I think that was in another game, as another Zelda game. Am I right or am I wrong? In Breath of the Wild, you can't get rupees out of the grass, but yeah. So it's rupees are more of a wild, a rare thing, and it's so things will tend to seem a bit expensive, and there's also the mention that there's no need for the rupees really because there's so many items already scattered in the world, which is true. I mean, you can are they called bokoblins? No, they're not. They're I don't know, but you can uh, attack with one of your enemy's arms. Like it's a skeleton. It might be like a stale child or something. But like you can get the arm off and then you can attack him with the arm. Go figure. Yes, you won't have the green tunic for most of the game. That's like so. I mean, I think it's probably worthwhile for the new direction that Zelda seems to be taking. Epona. I think that's a so sort of thing. I mean, you can get horses and you can name it Epona as well. But recurring companion of Link's for nearly 20 years, hasn't made an appearance in every Zelda title since Ocarina of Time. And well, I only really started with Ocarina of Time, so that's probably why don't think Epona's that big. But whatever, you can get horses, and those horses can die. So you can cry every time the opponent dies in battle before you get another one. uh, yep, that's yeah. Unique items and dungeon compasses both won't feature. Unique items, because there are just so many dungeons, because like you have the dungeons, but there are only a couple of them or a few of them, and then there's a couple hundred or something shrines, and well, you can't exactly have a unique item for every dungeon. Like you'll get items out of them, but you won't get unique items, and the bosses will be a little more generalized. So you actually have to figure out how to kill them that doesn't involve the item that you just got in that dungeon. And the dungeons are smaller, so and some of them are a lot more straightforward, i.e. the shrines. They're just meaning to fill out. You just need to finish a puzzle. So dungeon canvases, and maps and stuff aren't necessary, and your mini map will just get filled out as you wander. Auto jump. A lot of people are going to be glad that auto jump is gone. I mean, it was kind of annoying at times, I have to admit, trying to stand somewhere and then, oh, I'm just going to jump off of this. You just died. Smart. But anyway, yeah. A dedicated jump button is probably something that's going to get abused, I think. I think people are just going to be abusing the jump button. And also, AI has been boosted, and you're going to die a lot. One of my friends mentioned it's interesting to see just how many different ways you can die. So, yeah. Oh, and bombs aren't like the bombs that you used to. You don't have to throw them as quick as you can so you don't get blown up. They blow up when you tell them to. And I don't think you actually have to get bombs. Like it's sort of like an ability or something, part of your Sheik slate or something. But yeah, they just kind of appear, and then they have a cooldown after each bomb that you spawn. So you don't actually have to collect bombs or buy bombs or anything. On word of advice from what I've heard, you should always collect any arrows that you shoot and that your enemies shoot at you. Like if you get really good, you can start just taunting some of the archers and then collect all the arrows that they shoot at you. because apparently they're really expensive and rare in other cases, and pretty rare. So yeah. Anyway, that is enough Zelda and Switch. We have one more article and then we will finish it up. This one is for all the Overwatch players out there who think that might be a good idea to farm XP by going on inactive servers and creating inactive games and stuff. I don't play Overwatch, but I know how this works enough to say, like, why the fuck would you just cheat? Actually, I know the reason why people cheat, because they get bored and they want to try new things, but at the same time, like, why? This is just completely abusing the whole custom game system that Overwatch just brought in. So, and like, Overwatch is actually going to ban accounts that create these servers, advertise these servers, promote the general XP farming thing at all. And if you join the servers, you risk having your account banned as well. They say here, this is what they say here. If you join any game mode, including custom games, with the intent of gaining experience while being inactive, you risk having your account banned. Also, do not name your custom game in any way that implies that gaining experience while inactive is okay. Please do not even do this as a joke, because you are putting yourself at risk of having your account banned. So, just keep in mind. I know someone who had their account banned in another game just recently because they were using hacks. But yeah, I don't think I've really got much else to say. Alex? Okay, well, that's pretty much it for this episode of Gaming on Demand, our maiden episode. Woo! And we didn't even have one person. That. Yes. Ah, someone actually posted on the Twitch chat. It was Jason. Where's Klutzy Bubbles at Dunsatron? Yeah. Fair to say. Well, I have sent him messages, but yeah, well, he hasn't appeared. He hasn't seen my messages. So yes. Oh, we'll just roast him next episode. What, you lost your roast? Okay. Nice. Nice. Well, anyway, that's it. Sadly, I couldn't get one other thing that I was hoping to get, but I'll work that for next episode. That next episode will be 2 weeks' time, Thursday nights, 9:30, approximately, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. And so will Alex, and hopefully so will Lee. Peace out, dudes.